want to open. Pretty damn skippy right there. You know, to feel it eat like that and know that it's coming from a 50cc saw, that's pretty rocking. That's really rocking. Okay, so I had no idea that was going to happen. None whatsoever. That was real. I did not edit that footage or doctor it up, I should say. I didn't slow one down. No, that was real. Both saws are running a brand new out of the box Oregon EXL full chisel, full comp chain. The steel, or I'm sorry, the clone saw, the Holzfforma G660, it actually has a 28-inch bar on it, right? And I trimmed about that much off of the bar tip side of the log for the little Echo 4910, because it's only running a 24-inch bar. And I don't think that it may have slowed down the 4910. It may have, because it couldn't expel the chips. That is possible if I hadn't cut that end off. But flat out fact of the matter is that 4910 held higher RPMs through that wood than that G660 did. Now, does this mean that the 4910 that I ported, that is Troy's 4910 that I just got finished porting. It went bad on me. It seized the cylinder, which I still don't know exactly why. I guess maybe some debris got in there or something like that, but I had to put a new piston in it. It was a brand new saw. This is still not broken in. You've seen every cut that it's made on camera, which is only 4, 5 cuts. I don't know. It's nothing. I don't know. Maybe it's more than that. Maybe it's 15. Point is it is nothing. It hasn't even had a third of a tank ran through it. So it is not broken in. Is it more powerful than this Holzfforma G660? No, it is not. But in this particular situation, it was capable of holding a higher RPM than that G660 was capable of doing. Now, are they close on power? Probably. That little Echo is probably, it probably has 5.5 horsepower. And I'm only saying this, I won't give guesses like that, but I know I have the pleasure, the privilege of knowing Charles Briscoe and Dyno Joe and seeing all of the stuff taken to Dyno Joe that is ported by Charles, right? And he gets horsepower numbers. I have an Echo 4910 that was ported by Charles Briscoe. It has not been dynoed. However, it is a known formula that Charles was getting 5.5 horsepower out of. There you have it. So Charles's 4910 that I own, that he built for me, will probably put out 5.5 horsepower. Whereas the 4910s that I have been building, this one right here is for Troy, are slightly more powerful than the one that I have from Charlie. I kept the exhaust roof lower, which means it's going to have more torque. All right. That's really about it. The rest of the build is the same between my build and Charles's build, probably. And it's nothing special. It's nothing. There's no hidden secret or anything like that. It just works. Charles's is going to be faster than mine in smaller wood, the one that he built for me. However, mine is going to be faster than Charles's in bigger wood. I deal with big wood, and so I want to cram it through. I want to have all that torque, and that's why I like that low exhaust roof. It's a high number. I do 107 on the exhaust roof, whereas my saw built by Charles Briscoe has 102 on the exhaust roof, round about there, maybe 104 or something like that. So what that means is for small limbing duty, it'll pull higher RPMs, but for bigger duty, it won't have as much torque as the ones that I'm building. So there you go. So since I know that mine is as powerful or more powerful than the one that I have from Charles, and I know that Charles built me about a 5.5 horsepower chainsaw, then I'm looking at the one that I have is probably about 5.5 horsepower, maybe 5.6, maybe 5.4, you know, whatever, you know. And these Holzfforma 660s, probably not much more than 6 horsepower, maybe, you know, but they carry that horsepower lower and they have more torque. So is this little 4910 stronger than that 660 clone? No, it's not. But in this situation, it could hold its RPMs better. It could hold a higher RPM. Now, in the previous video where you see all of me talking about this 4910, you'll hear me say that I could have dogged in the 4910 and, you know, put a load on it, a bigger load on it. But I didn't want to because I'm setting things up for one right after the other little cutting competition between all of my ported 50cc class saws. And so I want to minimize the use of that log. I want to get all saws done in as small a space as possible. But the 660, you'll notice I was dogging it in because that was right out of the box. I did remove a doohickey, which gave it even more power. So it would have been even slower before I removed that doohickey. And the 4910 would have really beat it. I mean, it would have beat it bad. It would have beat it by 4, 5, 6 seconds, you know, if I hadn't removed that little doohickey from the intake side of the Holzfforma. But I did, all right? Other than that, I didn't adjust the carburetor or anything. And that was just a nonchalant cut through there, and it's running kind of fat. And so therefore, I was dogging in to get it to clean up in the cut. So that's what's going on. And regardless of any little thing that could or couldn't be said, holy shit, I just built a 4910 that in a straight up head-to-head test beat a 92cc clone saw. And that clone saw is just fine. It runs the way that those things run. So this video is really valuable to me because what it tells me, one thing very, very specifically, and it tells me that, so I've got to build that 660 for Sawfest to race. And what this video tells me is that saw is not capable of in its current condition, not capable of pulling higher RPMs. So that will affect what I do to it whenever I build it. So I got to look at that and go, okay, So I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna do this to get it to get higher in the RPM range. And more to come on that. That's enough for this video. I am kind of blown away by this. And if you're not blown away by it, then you don't know what you're looking at, because you should be blown away at this. That little 50cc saw and that big ass oak fairly undoctored beat a 92cc clone saw. That's amazing. I'm amazed.